Welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello, and welcome back for day 2 of the Breaking Ties interview series, where we talk with professionals who assist those getting through the divorce process. And this week, we're actually looking post-divorce for most of us as far as moving on through the dating process. And with this, we're going to go over some of the common questions you have all week. So with me today is Patti Warsaski. And Patti is a dating coach and the owner of A-Game Dating Coaching for Men and Women. And I tell you, yesterday we had some great, information. So if you're joining us for the first time today, I highly recommend you go and listen to yesterday's episode as well, because Patti shared some gems. Welcome back to the podcast, Patti. How are you?
I'm great. This is wonderful. I'm glad to be back doing this.
Excellent. And for our listeners who didn't join us yesterday, Patti was actually my dating coach after I got divorced. And I've been with Amy, my girlfriend, for quite a while now. And a lot of that is due to the success that I had listening to Patti and having her help me.
You were a wonderful listener. Definitely. You took everything to heart.
Yeah. Well, it was that transformation process. And we talked a little about that yesterday. So, getting that self-confidence back up and stuff.
Yep,
so
yep.
Yeah. So it was fantastic. So today we're going to move on in that kind of after divorce dating process. And this question I'm sure comes up a lot when you talk with clients. And that is, how do I navigate the dating apps and online dating profiles and scene, after I'm divorced?
Well, like I said yesterday about the dating after divorce and how it's not a one-size-fits-all process. It's the same thing with dating apps. It really is. You can have a million people that have success on one platform, and then you can try it and it just doesn't work for you. You don't connect with it. You don't get the results you want. So I would say research all the different platforms out there. See what works for you. Don't spread yourself too thin. I know a lot of people will be signed up to 5 different dating apps. I don't think that's necessary, because what you're doing then is you're just pairing up with the people that are also signed up to 5 different dating apps. And we're always, in dating, we're looking for quality over quantity. It's not about how many dates you go on. I know a lot of people think like, oh, the law of averages. I will go on 1 million dates and something's going to stick. I think when we talk about our dating needs and what we're looking for out of dating, whether it be a long-term commitment or just companionship or, whatever it may be, I think we still really have to have the insight on what we genuinely want. And if not, you kind of end up settling. And then the settling might feel okay in the beginning because you've got companionship, somebody to go out with, somebody interesting and new to meet and get to know. But over time, that kind of wears thin. So when you're looking for those dating apps, really use the free trials to go through the platform, see if the platform works for you. Also, talk to friends. You can ask who's had success. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right one for you, but people are very wonderful when it comes to sharing stories and the pros and the cons. Someone will tell you, well, if you use this app, you will have to answer 1,000 questions. Or if you use this app, you need to do this or that, or it's only the women choosing, or you've got to just find what fits for you. Try a couple, do the free trials. If it doesn't work for you, move on to another one. There are obviously the big ones that everybody knows, people have success with. So if you want to start there and then kind of funnel down to what's more personalized for you, that's why dating apps like marryafarmer.com exist, because people look for different things. If you're an adventure seeker, there's dating apps for people that seek that, or a traveler or something. Now, in a more broad sense, I will say one of the key things on these dating apps, which is a make it or break it, is your profile. I cannot say it enough. A profile should not be filled with me, I. It's wonderful to express things on the profile that are things that you like in your life or interesting things about your life, but leave room for someone else to see how they can fit into your life. So, for example, if you're a traveler, say something like, I love to travel, can't wait to find the right person to go on my next great trip with, or something. So then someone can envision a place for themselves. But if you paint this picture that I've got this great life, that's wonderful, and I hope everybody does. But the person reading it is going to be, okay, well, where do I fit into that? This person has talked about their kids and their family and their job and their hobbies. Where's there time for me? So just leave a little bit of room in there, and don't hesitate to say what you don't want. If you are someone that doesn't want to be with a smoker, make it very clear. Or someone that doesn't want to be with someone that lives more than a certain distance away. If you don't want to meet somebody that lives 200 miles away, make sure that you're saying, I'm looking to meet someone in the Chicagoland area or whatever your area is. So the dating apps will work for you if you put a little work on the front end by being selective about what you put into your bio, and do your homework on what's a good fit. But with anything else, offer a little patience, because a lot of times, Mike, you were very, very lucky. Mike had a great profile, and I think, what was it? Was it 24 hours you met Amy? Something like that?
Right. Yeah, exactly. We
So,
matched, picked each other kind of thing, and then went on a first date the following weekend, and
the
the
rest is
rest has been
history.
history.
Yeah. So, and that can happen. That can happen. Those things are wonderful. Also, when you're on these dating apps, try and engage with people a little bit more. Try and get to that chat, and let that chat live on a little bit so you can get to know people. I know we are, as a society, I know I am for sure, instant gratification person. So a lot of people are like, they talk with somebody for a minute and then they set up a date. But then oftentimes the date fizzles and doesn't end well because they really didn't know enough about that person before they went out. And then they meet that person and they think, I don't want that in person, or I don't like that in a person, or so just a little recon work through that app. Use that to your favor. And the last thing I'm going to say, so we can move on, is that when you are making the connection and you're chatting and you're moving on, using the phone or Zoom is a wonderful thing too. Something where you can kind of put the name with the face, get a feel for the energy or the vibe or whatever it is that you're looking for that matches up with yours. That's important. So take advantage of this technology that we have now that's really pretty terrific with keeping safety in mind too. I know a lot of people just are concerned about safety too. So kind of pre-screen a little bit too when you talk to people.
Yeah, you can never be too safe, especially if you're doing the online kind of things. So, when we get to people who are looking for, say, something not online, where else would, a single individual look or check or go to in order to, find a date?
Well, I am just being that I am not, 21 years old, and I have lived in a world, and like most of us have lived in a world before technology. I mean, if you think about it, most of us, when we got married, we either asked or were asked out on a date. We went to someone's house to pick them up, or we were at home and got picked up. We got into someone's car, we went out. There was no texting, there was no technology. It was really old school. So meeting in person was your only option, unless you had a blind date through a friend or something like that, and it was still in person. So I think right now, if you're not someone that, if it's just never going to be a matchup for you online, which is okay, involve yourself in things that you like, because then you will be around people who like things that you like. I'm a big proponent of meetup.com. I think Meetup is a great platform for going out and being you and doing what you like. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for the purpose of going to meet someone. You can go there because you enjoy fishing, or you have you love biking or something, and you go to a group, and you're obviously going to meet like-minded people, and you could meet a mate. There are also different groups that are specifically for dating that you can go, and it's just single people going to events. Everybody's on the same page there. That's a great in-person interaction. There's also be open to if the timing is right, if a friend says to you, hey, I have this friend, or I know this person, or I have a neighbor, I think you guys might hit it off. Be open to that. If you feel like you don't want the pressure of the old traditional blind date, see if there's going to be an event where that other person is going to be at. Maybe your neighbor or friend or family member's throwing a party, and then you can get to know each other that way too. And let me tell you, smile wherever you go. Have a smile, because you don't know, there is really, I don't know if there's statistical information on it, but there is a lot of word on the street that a lot of people meet at the grocery store or other places, standing in line at the post office. You just never know who you're going to encounter, ever. So be that person with a smile on your face. It's good for you. It's just a good way to be. But when someone else sees that you're a person that looks like a happy person, they gravitate towards that. So you just might be able to attract somebody when you least expect it, just by being a person that seems like you're in a good place and happy and just showing that you're approachable.
Yeah, boy, and that's really good information, because not everybody is comfortable with the technology online and how to use a dating app and stuff. And so some people just prefer the old-fashioned face-to-face handshake, hug kind of thing. And, you just see where the night plays out.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, this concludes our second of 5 days of the interview with Patti. So please join us tomorrow as we continue our discussion on dating and divorce. Each day's got new questions. So come on back and join us again. Patti and I would like to thank you for joining us today on Breaking Ties, the interview series. Should you have any questions for Patti, I'm going to put her information over in the description so you can reach out. Patti's always happy to help. And keep in mind, divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, we will see you all tomorrow.
We want to thank you for listening to this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce with Mike Fulkerson. For questions, please reach out to Mike via email in the description or give him a shout at 630-444-1410. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow.